Give me 90 seconds, I'll explain to you why I believe almost everyone in the United States should be considering the idea of taking a GLP-1 medication. First, let's talk about the incretin effect. Something that was understood in the early 1970s is that when you give patients orally sugar, their body metabolizes it much differently than when you give it to them in their veins. In other words, it caused a quicker, more rapid metabolic response. Research into why this happened led to the discovery of two main incretin hormones called GLP-1 and GIP. These are nutrient-stimulated hormones that your body makes in response to eating food. At the time, researchers thought if we could find a way to mimic these hormones, then we might be able to help people out, both from a blood sugar control standpoint and maybe even weight loss. But in the 1970s, we lacked the technology to synthesize proteins, until a couple of curious researchers discovered that the venom in a lizard in the Arizona desert actually had properties that mimicked our naturally occurring GLP-1. That peptide was extracted and ultimately became the first GLP-1 medication called exenatide or Byetta. Fast forward to today, and we've actually learned that patients who get the longer lasting, more potent versions of these medications are not only controlling their type 2 diabetes, reducing their insulin resistance, and losing weight, they're actually reducing inflammation, reducing cancer, reducing heart attacks, reducing strokes. And over 45,000 people have participated in clinical trials for semaglutide alone. And the largest study for semaglutide, which was over 4 years, actually followed patients that had heart failure. And in that patient population, it didn't matter what dose you were on, it didn't matter how much weight you lost. What they found was people had fewer major cardiovascular events. 20% fewer. So while these are extremely powerful metabolic medications, what they're learning is they're actually extending life.